Welcome everybody, my name is Michael and today it's a snow day. Yeah, we were snowing and it wasn't too fun because we had to snow plow all these vehicles for the dealership. I'm not a big fan of snow anymore because I keep slipping on ice. I don't want winter. Let's get summer over here. So, passive income. Oh yes, you're gonna see every financial guru talking about passive income. Make money while you sleep. It's easy. Well, cool. I saw this post today which made me laugh, and I think part of it obviously was satire, but the other part was it was reposted by someone who was dead serious. So the actual post itself, I mean, it's kind of comedy because you just look at how illogical and unrealistic this is, and then the person reposting is like, oh yeah, this is 100% fact, dude. So the post essentially went along the lines of Mark Zuckerberg, what at the time of the post was worth $69 billion. Now he's worth like 109.5. And when you're that rich, your net worth constantly fluctuates. And really, we don't know the full extent of his net worth. With people who have over $100 billion or $50 billion, there's always probably a couple billy hidden here and there. I'm just saying. So with that, $69 billion was from building one of the most popular companies in the entire world, Facebook. You know, they've got Messenger, which technically is part of Facebook because it is Facebook, so I'm not going to count that. But they bought out WhatsApp. They bought out Instagram. They bought out, I think, what was the Oculus VR. They bought out a fair amount of smaller companies, rinky-dink companies, you know, a couple million here, a couple billy here. And, well, they captured the world's attention. So they got like 2 billion users or something like that. Pretty crazy stuff. Right now they're going into the metaverse. They rebranded Meta, you know, trying to take over the world. I mean, I can seriously see Mark Zuckerberg, by the end of my lifetime, by the end of our lifetime, being a trillionaire. And all the people who have a couple $100 billion right now, and I'm sure there's going to be some crypto trillionaires. That's going to be crazy to see. But he built a company that obviously dominates the world. Everybody uses it. People's entire livelihoods are based off of Facebook. People's entire businesses, people met through Facebook. Now you have Facebook dating. Obviously not every single person, but you've got thousands and thousands, just like Amazon built new careers with Amazon drop shipping and FBA and all this. With Facebook, you have Facebook marketers. You have Facebook businesses that wouldn't operate without Facebook's audience, without their ads running through millions of eyeballs that see your product, and then they bring you to a landing page, or maybe you built out, you're a Facebook influencer, you're doing Facebook live streams, you're a gamer, whatever, dude. You're making millions of dollars. Your entire business wouldn't exist if Facebook wouldn't exist. Maybe you met the sweetheart of your life and you're able to finally connect with your family member from Uganda because they got lost somewhere 20 years ago. You're able to do everything with Facebook and WhatsApp and Instagram and all those Insta influencers. Woo! They wouldn't have a job. So Mark Zuckerberg, yeah, he's filling up their pockets. So it's pretty important, you know, especially if you build a company, anything that brings you even just $50,000 a year, and you're able to sustain that, you are a success. That is really great. I mean, if you're able to keep that up for 10 years and able to hopefully grow it as well, that's fantastic. You don't have to go to a job. That is your job. Hopefully you built a fun company and you actually enjoy it. I know there's some entrepreneurs that hate it. But this post went into his net worth being $69 billion and said, what if he just invested his tuition? Which, by the way, Bitcoin was created, you know, around the recession, which, if we remember, the recession around 2008. Facebook was created a little bit earlier. Well, so what exactly happened here? There's a couple years discrepancy. Well, if Mark Zuckerberg, this is the illogical part, if he just waited a couple years and instead of going to Harvard, took his tuition and invested in Bitcoin, so if he just saved up $100,000 or whatever it was, decided, let's not go to school, let's just code stuff for fun, whatever, let's wait 5 years for Bitcoin to come out, and then let's invest everything 100% into Bitcoin, which at the time, nobody had heard of it. Nobody was familiar with it. Nobody would suggest, oh yeah, you know what? Just YOLO it. Just put down 100 grand, 200 grand, 50 grand, even 10 grand, like even $1,000 into a random project. Unless you're a millionaire, that's a lot of money. You have no guarantee that it's going to go up. You have no guarantee about anything regarding that. So This post said if he just used his first 2 years of tuition, because he did drop out of Harvard, he didn't finish. If he just used his first 2 years of tuition, then if he invested that into Bitcoin, he would be worth $56 million at the time of the post. So all he would have done is just invested all of his money into an unknown cryptocurrency a couple years later, and he would make almost the same amount of money. He would still be one of the world's richest men, and this time he wouldn't have to create a company. He wouldn't have to do anything. Just sit back and relax. Oh, and not sell every single day when, people were freaking out for like the next 10 years. Nowadays, that 56 billion, even with the crash, it was really bad today. It went down to 33, below 33. But now it's back up at 36. So people are like freaking out. They don't know what to do. But even with where Bitcoin is right now, or, the all-time high, almost $70,000, we're talking about anywhere from 50 million to 100 billion, potentially even more than he's worth right now in cryptocurrency. And all he'd have to do is just sit back, passive income, make money while he sleep. Oh, and not cash out at all. So it's completely illogical because nobody would do this. Nobody. Even if Bitcoin was around when he was in Harvard, and even if he had money and he still went to Harvard, and even if he decided, let's YOLO it, at one point or another there would be an emergency, there would be some situation where a normal human being would be like, let's take out a little bit. I'm sure he'd still be probably rich, but even the very first and the biggest believers in Bitcoin still aren't the world's richest people alive. They're pretty rich, there's some billionaires, but no one went full YOLO into it when it first came out. So that's why it's illogical. And it brings me back to this. There's been a lot of memes about, personal finance gurus saying, oh, if you just invested in Coca-Cola like 200 years ago, you'd be a billionaire. Yeah. Or if you invested in Google before it came out. Like, okay, all right. Here's what you actually have to do. Get a job. Save up enough money at your job so you're able to invest. While working and while investing, start a side job, a hobby, a career that you could grow into without quitting your first job. Going fully 100% into your first job, not be like, oh, let's just slack off. And at one point or another, you save up enough money, and you have enough money, that you don't need to take out anything from your investments, but you're able to slowly reduce the hours that you work until you don't need to work at your job anymore, and you're able to build a company or do a project or build a YouTube channel or whatever it is your dream is and make money off of that. And voila, that's the way you do passive income sources. You don't fully YOLO into it. So that's today's video. Have a great rest of your day. Hopefully Bitcoin recovers, and if not, well, welcome to winter. So thanks for watching. See you guys as always tomorrow. Thanks for 1700. Bye.